Hey everybody, Flip and Danny here, founders of the Freedom Real Estate Group, family of companies, and welcome to another live episode of our podcast. And our podcast is called
Freedom Through Passive Income.
That's right, and we are on location.
Yes.
You see I don't know how much of it you can see in the video, and if you're listening, well, you can't see anything, obviously. But you got this sort of poster, work of art, whatever, of a guitarist, because we're live at the Hard Rock Cafe in Lake Tahoe.
Isn't it the Hard Rock Hotel?
Well, it's Hard Rock Cafe and Hotel and Resort and something, but it's Hard Rock, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, this is week 37 live. This is our week in review. And so I just spilled the beans.
Yep.
Yeah, we're in Lake Tahoe.
Yep.
There's this giant thing of water right outside our patio door here.
And it's a gorgeous golf course.
Yes, gorgeous golf course that's super exclusive.
I told Flip, hey, while we're here, you should see if you can just golf. Like, rent clubs, do whatever you got to do. I mean, we're here. It's right there. It's gorgeous.
I don't think the genes of my family were allowed to walk on that grass.
But yeah, apparently, pretty exclusive.
Yeah, pretty exclusive golf course right outside. So we were here for one of the masterminds that we're a part of, so we got here on Monday morning, and the mastermind was Monday through Wednesday, and so we're staying a couple days extra here in Lake Tahoe because we've never been here, and you got to take planes, trains, and automobiles just to get here, it seems. But anyway, so we stayed a couple extra days. And what are we going to do today, Danny?
We're going to ride up a gondola, and it's weird that I'm excited about it.
She's afraid of heights, so
I know.
She looks at it and starts shaking, and I'm just like, okay.
It's a 2.4 mile trip up, and it's 9,150 feet. That's the elevation, right?
At the top of there, but then you can go a little higher if you want once we get up there.
Yeah. Wow. I put it on Facebook last night, and I was like, my stomach's going to drop a few times, but it's going to be well worth it.
But see, I told her we're in a gondola, so if you fall, you're only going to fall like 30 feet, not 9,150 feet.
Right. True.
So anyway, the Power Room Mastermind, you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So we're here for the Power Room. This is one of the masterminds that every mastermind that we're in, there's always live events. Mm-hmm. This is the one mastermind that we've just connected with so much that we have gone to every single event. If they're putting something on, we are there. Mm-hmm. And so glad to be in Lake Tahoe because it is a new place. And whenever we travel these days, we're like, hey, if it's somewhere new, we're there already. Let's just stay a couple extra days. So it makes it a little bit fun. And plus, we can work anywhere. It doesn't even matter. So it's fine. Team can still get a hold of us. But what we love the most about the Power Room, I think a lot of people said it this week while we were all together. This is Andrew's saying it's a business playground.
Yeah.
And I think that really resonates with me because you and I have done business with quite a few people in this group. And really over the last year, it's primarily who we've done business with. Right? This is a mastermind of CEOs and founders. And the level of the people in this room is just amazing. Like I think we've said this before, like we were fearful of even going here for the very first time because we're these are big players. I mean, people that own companies that are like $100 million companies and beyond, millions, multi-millions. So this guy yesterday was talking about he's working on a company that's going to be a multi-billion-dollar company, and we're listening to him and we're like, I don't think there's a person in that room that does not believe that is going to be a multi-billion-dollar company. Yeah. The ideas and everything in this, it's just a great room to be in, and for that reason, we actually became owners, right? Yep. Some of the members were offered ownership. We're a little flabbergasted and grateful to be one of the people that were offered ownership, and we jumped on it. We were just like, yes, absolutely, 100%. We weren't even like really questioning it. So it's just, I mean, awesome. I know I have a ton of stuff to go in, but I want to give you a chance to talk.
And I made a joke about being the, I always try to make sure that I'm the dumbest guy in the room.
Yeah.
That is no problem with this room. I'm going to be the dumbest guy in this room forever.
Just a few things about the Power Room and why we liked it. The takeaways, I guess, if you will. Mm-hmm. Number one, they have established kind of a journey of how the power room, the pillars that they're going to focus on.
Right.
And we really, really love this because this particular event here in Tahoe was different than all the rest. And it was very, very impactful.
Yeah, and we didn't know that it was different until we got here. It was a bit of a, what?
Yeah, and I think this was important to share with you guys because I think it's something that you should be thinking about because most masterminds are industry specific.
Yeah.
So you're going to go to a raising money mastermind, you're going to go to a real estate mastermind, you're going to go to a dental or a physician mastermind. And this one, having a group of CEOs and founders that is not industry specific means that we're touched by so many different people in so many different ways. And at this level, you tend to focus on business a lot and the rest of life gets washed away. And so they intentionally have created 4 pillars that I thought was incredible. First one is physical, second one is personal, third one is professional, and the fourth one is purpose. And those are things that we should all be thinking about, but it's difficult when you have a one-track brain and you're just entirely focused on your business and the struggles and the wins that go along with that ride. So the one that we were here with, they started off with personal.
Yeah.
So you want to talk about Garrett?
Yeah, so we met Garrett White. If you don't know who he is, just go to YouTube, which if you're listening, you're on podcast things, but go to YouTube and type in Garrett White. And he's a very skinny, muscular guy with very impeccably beautiful hair. Because he runs the WarriorCon.
Warrior Way or something, WarriorCon,
yeah. And but he and his wife also run. They have hair products and they do that too. He didn't really talk about that, but just watch a couple YouTube videos. He does drop the F-bomb more than Tanya Rooney, which I didn't know was possible, Tanya. So just warning you beforehand. So he was the first speaker, and he went for 3 hours, and that was turning it not up to 11. That was like turning it up to like 15 for 3 hours straight. Yeah. It was very, very intense. It was very. He got you thinking about things that he shook you to your core, basically.
Yes.
To get you thinking about things that you don't think about because you're focused on your business and you're focused on doing this. And it was 3 hours when he ended after the 3 hours. I was just like, oh, I think I need to go take a nap. It was pretty amazing. And then after him was Keith.
Yep.
And they're actually best friends, and you could see that too. But Keith talked a lot of the same things. He didn't drop nearly as many F-bombs. But he talked about marriage and relationships and, again, asking questions that you don't normally ask yourself. Yeah. And so, that first night was definitely an eye-opener. But at that point, Danny and I had been up for about 23 hours straight from flying from Florida to Reno and then driving to Lake Tahoe and then being a part of that. So we were asleep like 5 minutes later.
Yes, yeah. After it was over, we hit the bed and just crashed. But I will say, Garrett he's the type of person that you're either going to really, really like him or really be offended. There's no middle ground. There's no middle ground. You're going to hate him or love him. And we were in the group that really loved him. I love people who will just get in your face, say it like it is, be real, hold nothing back, and force you to answer really, really hard questions that you don't typically take the time to ask yourself. And that's what he did. And it was really also impactful in the group with regard to he forced you to answer those questions, and then you had to go and get in a group of, he called it a tripod. You had to find 2 other people, and every time you had to do that, you had to find 2 new people. And so you engaged with a lot of people, and you had to get vulnerable and just say, here's how I answer these questions. And it really kind of created a bond between some of those people. I heard people literally say, this feels like a mastermind that's really going to talk about the shit that nobody else talks about. And part of my language, I'm thinking Garrett White now. And I'm in that zone. But it was really, really powerful. And I thought it was important to share because it's not, I know a lot of investors that are active and they're entrepreneurs listen to this podcast, and I thought this is something that we should share and we should talk about because I think everybody should have a moment like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then there was 2 quotes that I took from Andrew that I remembered from this weekend. His was connections plus collaboration equals currency. And I believe that about this room.
Yep.
And then Eddie said, power is always in proximity. And I want to be in the room and in proximity of these particular people. And that's what we believe as well. So really impactful weekend. I know we're already over our 8 minutes just talking about the power room. That's how much, it's just how much impact it has on our our life, and that's what I want to share on these podcasts. So then, okay.
Texas is done?
Not Texas.
Oh, Taxes are done. Yay.
Yeah, so today is the 15th. And therefore, for all of you business owners who extended your taxes, you had to have them filed today for 2021. So hope you guys, got them done. I signed the last 2 last night. We were out, walk around Lake Tahoe, and I said, don't let me forget I have 2 more tax returns to sign as soon as we get back to the hotel.
Right. Texas. Got it.
So super excited about that. And then we have 3 pending closings that we're not going to talk about, right?
Yep, that's right. We're not going to talk about it. So the next thing we have are new funds, because we don't talk about pending closings because we'll jinx it.
Yep.
So we have new funds in which are in massive action mode. That's all I'm going to say about that.
And blinders on, right? Yep. Yeah, we've got so much that we've had in the works. We really have to, with the move to Florida, it kind of set things in a... it put things on pause a little bit. We just weren't able to keep the momentum going. And now it's just like, okay, now we have to get it done. So it's blinders on, get it focused. And then we're going to start business number 7.
You keep saying we're going to start. We've started it like 3 months ago.
We did.
And then actually on our drive from Reno to Lake Tahoe, you got a call from someone that was asking if we would be able to do a short-term loan. It was 7 figures.
Yes.
And so again, it's getting to that point, and it didn't take very long to get up to that point.
Yes.
That kind of skyrocketed.
Yep.
But yeah, no, we're not gonna start. We started it. Stop saying we're gonna start it.
So it is
Rip
started.
That Band-Aid right off there.
And another mastermind member from the Power Room. He's actually going to be helping us build the system. The platform for this business. So again, super excited about everything that's going on. It's all about the people that you're surrounded with. We wouldn't be here where we are today without people who have helped elevate us, and that continues to be true as we continue to grow.
Yep. Well, that wraps up week 37. Hopefully week 38 is just as exciting.
Yes.
But we hope you enjoyed this episode. Make sure you're heading on over to our website, freedomcapitalinvestments.com, to join the Investor Club. We also have a little tab on there for deals. You can submit a deal if you want. And we also have the swag on there as well. So we've got lots of things on the website. So make sure you check all that out. And check us out on all the Instagrammers and the Popograms and whatever else there is out there. But we hope you enjoyed this episode. And we like to end every episode with
invest smart,
live happy. Bye, everybody. Nothing on this show should be considered specific, personal, or professional advice. Please consult an appropriate tax, legal, real estate, financial, or business professional for individualized advice. Opinions and information on the show are not guaranteed. All investment strategies have the potential for profit and loss.